In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to add sound to our Max Scene files and to our animations. So the thing we're going to do is we're going to start with opening up a new program called Audacity. Now, Audacity has been around for a long time. When I say new, new to you, you'll find it on your desktop, and if not, you can go to the Start menu and find it in your programs. Okay, so just double-clicking on Audacity. That will open up. The thing you have to make sure of is that it's on Windows, right here, WASPy, W-A-S-P-Y, right? That's not an MME or Windows Direct Sound. Okay, so if you've got that, then you're pretty much all set. So now the next thing you'll do is you can go to the internet, and pretty much anything that you can get, any sound on your computer, is going to be recorded by Audacity when it's in that WASPy mode. So here I've just picked hip hop beats on YouTube, and I'm going to go ahead and start the recording here and playing it here.
Danny on the track, boys.
Okay, I've stopped the recording there because that's enough. For this animation, we're just going to do, let's say, between 20 and 30 seconds. So I don't need this whole song. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and close that down. And here's the nice thing about the editing software. I can pick just the part that I like. So I think I like the second round of the beat right here. And you can see the wave format, the wave file here. And so, yeah, it's kind of neat. And so that's actually the pulses of the beats that are going on. And that's going to become very important later on. And so if I click here, and let's say, and by the way, I can zoom in just by, here's the little magnifying glass over here with the plus. And you can see if I play it. Okay, or I can zoom out. Okay, so in any case, I'll zoom in just a little bit, and that seems like a good place to start right there. And that's where zooming in can really help because it can get things very precise. And so if I wanted to delete the whole track leading up to this part, a couple things I could do. One is I could just zoom out, and then if I hold my cursor there, you'll see that little hand that it makes, and I could just select all that and delete it. Okay, delete. Okay, another way is this. I'll show you here in just a second. Let me zoom in a little bit. So let's say I go here to the end of my track here, and I say like, okay, that's exactly where I want it. That'll be 29 seconds. Sure, why not? And so if I go here to select, I can go edit and then select. And I have some options, but for instance, I could do cursor to track end. And that's really handy. Let's say you're zoomed in on something and it's all really big and it's long ways to the end, much longer selection than this. Then that's an easy way of selecting a lot of stuff. Okay, so I got that, and I'm just going to say delete. Now, the thing about Audacity files is that they are ginormous. Do not ever, 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 ever save an Audacity file. Okay, sound files tend to be really huge when they're like this. Okay, and Audacity is cool because you can do a lot of things with it. Here, just by the way, here I've just got this cursor anywhere, and I can go to the effects. In fact, I use Audacity when I make this, and sometimes use it to take out some of the breathing noises and other things. But for this, we could just go to Amplify. Let's check that out. So I'll go to Amplify, and it says, oh, well, I can make this louder by 4.7 decibels. And if I just say OK, and you can see it's made the track a little bit louder. So you can adjust the audio. You can do just all kinds of stuff. Anyways, too much to talk about with that one. Okay, so I've got this all. Doesn't matter. And I'm going to go to File. And remember I said do not save. That is not what we're doing here. Do not save. Export. That's what you want to do. You want to export. So I'm just going to click export. And the place where I want to put it is into my sounds. So I'll go up a level or two. So if I'm in my student drive, right, and I'm in my Max folder here. Okay, so I go to Max in my student drive, and if I go to my scene assets, and then I go to sounds, then when you go into Max, that's the first place it's going to look. I mean, you could put it other places and you could look other places, but that's just going to be the easiest. So I'm just going to call this Beats 2. Why not? And you want to save it as a WAV file. MP3s, that will not work. Yeah, there it is. MP3s will not work. You have to save it as a WAV, a Microsoft WAV file. Okay. There it is. That's the one right there. Because Max won't work with it. It won't work with an MP3, but only with the WAV. Okay, so anyways, probably is already set on that, so you can probably leave it alone. And we'll just say save. Okay, and so then that's exporting it, and we'll say okay. Okay, so we're done with Audacity, and so we can close it, and it's going to ask, do I want to save it? What's the answer? The answer is no, I do not want to save that. Okay, so that's all good. So from there, I can go ahead and open up a brand new Max file, and what I'm going to do is, of course, I'm going to save or change, all these guys. Don't forget to do that. Do it every time. It takes only a second, and then we're set up for the whole rest of our project. And finally, what I'm going to do before I get started with anything is I'm going to save it. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go Save As. And it should put you into your scene folder in your student drive, but if not, navigate there for sure. And let me see, what will I save it as? Well, I'm going to save it as my last name, my first name, Project 5, your period, and sound demo. That's what we're doing, is our sound demo. And I'll push save. Okay, so how do we bring sound into Max? Well, first off, let's do this before we do anything else. We're going to make this clip, it was about 30 seconds worth of audio, but I think I want it to only play for, let's say, 20 seconds. So I'm going to go here to my time configuration, right down here, and I'm going to set my timeline. So what I'll do is 30 times 20 is usually 600, right? And so I'm going to set it at 600 frames and say OK. And so that's expanded my timeline and made it much longer, and so everything we do after that is going to just work out right. Okay, the next thing is that we're going to open what they call a graph editor. And so the graph editors are up here. Before I do that, there's this ribbon that we've had in our UI this whole time, and we're not using it. It's a very handy thing, and if we were building stuff more, we'd use it a lot, but we're not. So there's an easy way to toggle this off and give us just a little bit more real estate. So if you go here to the toggle ribbon button, we can toggle that. And you see we got just a little bit more screen area. And that's really important because we're going to be using up a whole lot more screen area here in just a few minutes. So once again, that toggle on, toggle off. Okay, we're going to open up what's called a graph editor. So go to the graph editors drop-down menu here. And they've got two types, the curve editor and the dope sheet. You're going to want to open the dope sheet. Okay, and it's going to get what they call a track view. Okay, and it's just sort of a really detailed version of this timeline down here. Okay, so what we want to do to add sound is we want to go to sound right here and double click it. So it's going to open up the Pro Sound dialog box, and we're going to go to add. Okay, so it should take you directly to your sounds in the scene assets folder of your scenes folder in your 3ds Max in your H drive. If not, you can go navigate to wherever you put your sound, your music, whatever. And so there's my Beats 2 that I had saved just a few minutes ago. Double click that and it has added it to it. That's pretty much all I need to do. Lots of controls for doing lots of different things. Maybe this one, permit backwards scrubbing. That's kind of a good one to have because then you can go back and forth on your timeline as you're trying to go through. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. So I'm going to just close that. Okay, and so now you can see that this has changed a little bit. It's just added these tracks up here. And so if I want to see these tracks, what I can do is I can go here where it says sound, and there's a little plus. I can open that up, and there we see Beats 2 wave. So I'll open that up, and I can see the waveform for my song. So if I play it, all right, pretty cool, huh? So that's playing along with my timeline. It's coordinated. We can move that around. We can do all kinds of things with it. We're just going to leave it alone for right now. The other thing is that remember how I made that ribbon go away to give us just that skosh more of real estate? What I find best is to go ahead and on this track view, if you'll right click up here, it'll say dock. And if you go dock top, then it puts it right up here. And so that gives us an area to work in. And you see these have become a little bit smaller. Right, let's stretch that out a little bit. But it is still the most compact way of doing it. You guys could take this and put it on the other computer screen. I like having it right up above here because then I can see it and match it with my timeline. You'll see why in just a little bit. The other thing that I could do to give myself a little bit more real estate is you see we've got all these buttons here, and we're not going to use any of them except maybe this magnifying glass. So let's do this. This is my little cheat. I'm going to take this magnifying glass and I'm going to click on it. And this is just a zoom. So if I click here, I can drag it and drag and change that timeline a little bit. Okay, so that's cool, right? And so then I'm going to go up here and in this area right here, right next to where it says dope sheet or wherever, this little bit of open spot, I'm going to right click it. And you see where it says show toolbars, and I'm just going to say none, right? And I've already clicked that magnifying glass, so I've already got that magnifying glass in here. So if I want to do that, I can open or close it that way. And if I want to pan around in here, I can push down the wheel on my mouse button and I can move it back and forth that way. And that way I can go ahead and I can close this up a lot more. Here's my thing over here. Right here is where I can adjust that and still see my tracks and still have the maximum amount of real estate that I can have. You know, I hope that helps you. That's the way I would set it up. Okay, and so let's see here. Okay, all good. And then I can get more of the track view over here by I'm pushing down my center wheel once again, and I can go up and down with that. That's going to be also very useful here in just a little bit. Okay, so we've got this track, and if we play it, it's going to play that track. Okay, and now I've made my timeline here only 600. I don't know if you can see it, but it's slightly grayed out over here relative to here, and that's just showing where the track ends. Let's play it to the end and see what happens. You can see it didn't go all the way to the end over here. It just went to the end of my timeline. I could expand that if I wanted to. Okay, so anyhow, let's do a little animation to go along with this to kind of drive home the point and just show you something that's kind of cool. So if I go over here, and here, let's do this so we can see a little bit bigger window. I just did my Alt W to make this one a little bit bigger, and I'm going to go over here to plane. And I'm going to just stretch out a plane. and that's fine. And it doesn't really matter what size, but I'll just go ahead and make mine, let's say 10 feet by 10 feet. And I'm going to give it a lot of segments because, I'm going to mess with it a little bit. So here, I'll give it like, I don't know, like 40 segments this way and 40 segments this way. Okay, that's plenty. Don't give it any more than that because that'll be all crazy. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and center it as well. So here's my move tool and center that. So we're pretty much all set right there. That should be good. Okay, and so to this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a modifier. You're going to like this one. Oh, and I'll change the color to make it a little bit groovier. There we go. Anyways, with my modifier, what I'm going to do is go on down to the ripple modifier. Remember, these are alphabetical, so that should help you to find stuff in that long old list. And the ripple modifier can do some pretty cool stuff. So for instance, I can take the amplitude, right, and go up, and you can see how that's starting to move that. So I'll make that amplitude of, I don't know, let's say 1. So that's 1 foot. Okay, and the amplitude 2, we'll also make that 1. Okay, so we get something like that. Pretty cool. And then the wavelength, we can mess with that. Alright, I think I'm just going to leave it where it's at for right now. What the heck. And then the phase. And you can see that that's going to move it along that wavelength and all that kind of good stuff. Okay. And I'm just going to leave that at 0 as well for right now. Alrighty. And I think with my timeline, yeah, I can do that. Okay. So anyways, with my timeline, I'm just going to set that to 0. Just a good starting point. Doesn't really matter. Okay. And I'm going to go back up here to this track view. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just go this way right here. Come on. And all the way down till you'll find objects. And in the objects, if it's closed, you can open it. But you'll see this has that plane. See, it's the same thing. It's just called plane 001. Here's our plane 001. And we can open that up. And in there, we're going to find the modifier. Okay, so that's the modified object. So we're going to open that up. And there it is. There's that ripple that we were making. So that's this right here. Like I said, this is a very extensive bunch of this down here, but very extensive. Okay, and so we have different things that we can mess with. Let's go ahead and we're going to mess with the phase. That was this part right here that allowed you to just make the thing move, right? Okay. Now, to this phase, we can add what's called a controller. And, you'll see as we go along with animations and stuff like that, controllers are something that we use from time to time to make things happen the way that we want them to. You'll see. So with this, I'm just going to go ahead and right click here. And you can see right down here under controllers, it says assign controller. And I'm going to just click on that. And the controller that I want is this audio float. So we're going to click on that, and we can say OK, or we could just double click. Okay, we get yet another dialog box, and this one says choose sound. So even though we put the sound into the timeline, it hasn't, that's not what this is using right now. So we got to actually put that in again. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and choose the sound. So here it says choose sound. And it should once again take me directly to that sounds folder. And if you've got it somewhere else, just navigate to wherever you have that sound. Okay, and so I'm going to do that same sound, that beats 2. I'll just double click that, and then there it is. Okay, so you have some various controls here. And so right here, this is the max. You can see that that's controlling that up and down. It's going to show like how much it will move. And you've also got one for the minimum that it will do. Okay, so that looks pretty groovy. How about right about there? is a good place to start. And so what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to play my animation and see what happens. That's pretty cool. I can adjust it on the fly if I want. Maybe to make it a little bit less.
Purchase your tracks today.
Maybe a little bit more this way. I think we'll bring it down somewhere in here.
Purchase your tracks.
And then I can also adjust it in here still as well. I think here, let's try this decay right down here. Oh yeah, that kind of mellowed it out a little bit, didn't it? I like that.
Purchase your tracks
Okay, so that's pretty cool. The other thing I could do is, even though it's got this helper that's linking it to the sound file here, I can still add keyframes to it. Watch this. I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to move this back to 0. Alright, and so in this track view, we're in this phase. That's all good. We're not going to do anything else in here, so I'm going to go ahead and just close that up. And go all the way back up here to where I had my waveforms, and that's really kind of cool. And let me see, remember I told you this area was grayed out. I'm going to go ahead and expand that a little bit because I got that magnifying glass, and I could move it over and I could expand it a bit more. Come on. Okay, that's perfect. So you can see, you could also use your wheel, by the way, but you can see that I am just, here's 0, here's 600, so this is going to match here. You'll see the cursor move here. See how those are going to go, and it's just matching my timeline down there perfect. And that's why I like to have this up here, because here, check this out. This is what we can do. We can click on our auto key and move it a little bit, and we're going to move it to, we're going to time it to these beats, because that's a big part of editing with audio, is timing things, well, to the sound, of course. And so I'll just go to this first beat right here whenever there's a double beat, and I'll just maybe bring that up like that. Okay, so every time I get a double beat, oh wait, maybe, and then with this beat in between, I'm going to go down. Okay, and so then we've got that double beat right there, right? And so then I'll go back up, and then we've got that single beat right there, and I'm going to go down. And I'll just keep doing that, right along in time with the music. Okay, so all good. And, we can do this, but boy, we could do all kinds of things, lightings and textures, and just pretty much 99% of the stuff on Macs is animatable, and so it's kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and close this up, and I'm going to take this back to the beginning, and let's see what it's looking like. Okay, well that's pretty cool. I don't know, it's a little crazy, but you don't want me to just mess around with this thing and mess around with it on a tutorial, so that's all good. And let's see, what else? That's about it. I think I'm going to go and now let's export it, because to finish this assignment, I don't want to see a max file. What I want to see is the end product. And so I'm going to go ahead and go to my render setup, and I'm going to do my active segments, 0 to 600. Okay, and I want it to be HDTV, and I want it to be that medium resolution. Okay, I want to create a file for it. So the file where you should be is in Art, so in the T drive, and then in Art, and then in here in whatever your class folder is. Okay, you'll see that we now have the Project 5 folder ready. So in there, you'll see Project 5 Sound Demo, and you're going to save it. I'll just replace the one that I have here. And so, same as you saved your Mac scene file, you'd save it as Kuhn Robert Project 5 P1 Sound Demo, or whatever your period is. Okay, so anyways, yeah, once again, I just want the AVI here. All right, and so find the AVI file right here, and you can go ahead and say save. Okay, it's going to overwrite the file that I have here. That's fine. Yours should be brand new. And so from there, I think the only thing left to do is maybe check my safe frame. So I'm going to go Shift F, make sure that I'm looking pretty good. That's fine. And from there, turn off my auto key. Probably before I start rendering something, I'm going to go File and Save. I've already saved it as, right? So I'm going to say Save. And then just start to render. Yes, I do really want to overwrite it. And you can see it's starting to render. And here in a few minutes, I'll show you the results. Okay, it's stopped rendering now, so we can go see how that turned out. So if I go over here to Art on the T drive, and let me see, I put it into period 1s and into Project 5 and into the first one there. So there it is. There's my sound file, or excuse me, my animation. And so if I just double click on that, it should open up.
Purchase your tracks today.
Okay, it's all right. It's a little bit busy, I think. If I was doing this myself, I would take a little bit more time and maybe smooth it out a little bit. But so that's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and follow this tutorial, and then in the next tutorial, you're going to have a little bit more freedom to work with sound and with animation. Okay, so good luck.